Holywell Primary School in Loughborough during Mad Week. 5 days of extracurricular activities celebrating music, art and drama.
And they said, stop!
Stop!
Who goes there?
Who goes there?
You can't pass here.
You can't pass here.
It's a private road.
It's a private road.
An event like this is a perfect opportunity to invite local journalists into the classroom. But just how should schools handle the media to help promote themselves positively?
Now the weasels were very unrefined creatures.
I think using the media for us is important. It's important for us to celebrate the successes that the children are achieving. Parents feel proud when they see it in the newspaper, and they like to see the work of the school being celebrated. I think also staff feel, yes, I've done a good job, and that helps them as well.
While in Loughborough, using the media celebrates ongoing success, at this secondary school in Bristol, it's a way of winning community support for a brand new school in a city where state secondary education has a poor reputation.
I think that using the press to inform the community, the local community, about what you're doing is a way of showing tangibly what your school is actually about. And I would see that, yes, it is a commitment, but I think most schools, it's an important commitment, that they should put some time aside, some time and money aside to do that.
I think it's easy for schools to lose sight of the fact that they're in a competitive marketplace. They're competing for the best staff and they're competing for pupils. They want to keep their roles up. And actually it's important to develop a reputation locally that will drive people to send their children to that particular school and that will see them recruit the best staff.
Right, so 107 FM, we're at Holywell School, and what's your name?
Emily.
So we've got Emily with us. What's your name?
Patrick.
Now, first of all, Emily, it's been Mad Week, hasn't it, at your school? So what have you enjoyed the best about this week?
Our collaging.
Right, OK, and that'll be on display, will it, in the school?
Yeah.
It looks good, does it?
Yeah.
Pleased with it? OK, Patrick, so what have you been doing for Mad Week?
Well, we've been making lanterns, doing collages.
Holywell School has a good reputation and currently has no problems attracting pupils and staff. But it's not an image it takes for granted.
When the local press come here, it's a message that we want to give out. It's not the other way round. And I think sometimes if you're quiet and you don't approach them, they will approach you about something that may be something that you don't necessarily want to send out. So I think being proactive gives you an upper hand.
Your school this week has been voted and has won School of the Week, so a big cheer for the school. Right, so who would like to come up and...
We have a press officer, and that's one of our members of staff. And therefore, anything that we feel that's newsworthy, then she will report through and obviously gain permission and then seek outside help to say this is how we're going to have it recognised in our community, either close by or wider.
I think it's very useful to have somebody who is focused on finding good news stories and getting them out there for two reasons. Firstly, it's quite a laborious job, and also it gives a regular contact, particularly for the local media. It helps in terms of getting positive stories into the press, but it also helps if there are negative stories, that the school is a trusted source of information and that the individual that the media deals with is a trusted source of information as well.
Well, when I took on this role, Christine asked me if I would promote the school. That was my brief. When we have a staff meeting, we have a staff bulletin with all the listed features on that are happening over that month or whatever. So I know what's coming up, and also working as I do throughout the school, I work with children with English as an additional language. So I go right through the school from top to bottom, so I can pick up on items that I think are newsworthy and we should get a picture in the paper for, to raise the profile of our school.
Can we get the ducks nice and close together in the back there? Nice and close.
We actually prepare everything, take photographs and prepare the press releases. I can't say they always use the press release, but it's always done for them. And that does help in getting the media to be interested because it obviously makes it a lot faster.
Right, can we have the bunnies behind the ducks?
In this role, I keep record of all these photographs, I do a little write-up of each thing that happens, and we keep them in a yearbook at the front of the school, so they're always there available for parents to read. But probably the most important thing is that children come along and see themselves in the photographs. They comment on what's been happening.
This school's proactive relationship with the media hasn't gone unnoticed by pupils. Seeing good publicity on a regular basis prompted a group of them to set up their own internal magazine club, which is now an integral part of Holywell's media machine.
Did you win the final? Yep, we won it 2-0 against Mountfields.
The press pieces that I do for the yearbook and the displays, I also pass through to the magazine club, and then they put their slant on things and they do write-ups and things in there.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm writing about this author that once visited our school.
It's a very busy job being a press officer, but the thing is to get school colleagues on side, which I'm fortunate enough to work in a school where all my colleagues are very supportive. When I'm not in school, they will take photographs. They will come to me with things, and so that makes my job a lot easier.
Here we've got some work. So here we've got an elephant that someone's
I think
done.
because everyone knows what goes on at Holywell, parents are more supportive of teachers. This reputation of being a good school is seen on a regular basis, and just like any other brand name, your name is coming up all the time. And so, given the choice of schools, parents do come to this area. And in fact, in the estate agents we now have on the bottom of houses in the Holywell catchment area.
I think you've got to work hard to maintain a good reputation. It does take effort and it does take time. It's easy to say that the reputation of a school is driven largely by the results that it gets. Certainly, that's a huge part of any school's reputation, but there are a lot of other factors, such as, does it have a good reputation for discipline? Is it a safe environment for children? Does it take care of their health and their well-being? Does it have a good record in sporting and extracurricular activities? All of these things are drivers of reputation.
The benefits of a positive relationship with the media are clear to this new secondary school in Bristol. Image has been important from the moment the first brick was laid.
Support for the school has been huge over the last 3 years since I've started campaigning, so we knew there was a huge interest in the school, a need for it. But obviously, prior to appointing a head teacher and staff, we as a governing body had to do it ourselves, and from the very beginning I felt it was important that we did it properly and professionally. So it was very vital that we gave the school credibility from very early on, way before we had any staff to assist us in that.
Now the head teacher has taken up the challenge of handling the intense and continuous press interest from the school's temporary home.
Certainly when I came to Redland Green, I knew it was a massively high-profile school. I was doing interviews for the radio before I even came down to Bristol and started here. So I was aware of the very genuine press interest when I took this post on. It was something I was actually warned about or asked to think about when I was being interviewed. You know, this will be a school that's in the public eye.
Redland Green is under the media spotlight because Bristol is a city where the reputation of state secondary education suffers from poor results. Good state schools are oversubscribed and the independent sector thrives. This school can expect its progress to be closely monitored.
Certain schools will find themselves the subject of unwarranted attention because the local schools have a bad reputation, or they are a particular type of school which comes in for regular criticism. In those circumstances, it's even more important that they can forge their own identity. Actually, that's beneficial for them. It's also beneficial for the area. If a particular LEA has a poor record on schooling and you get a good school that forges a good reputation for itself, over time that will also improve the reputation of the area as a whole, so everybody wins.
Good morning,
Hello, nice to meet you.
Would you like to come meet the students? At the moment, I'm very, very pleased with the coverage we've had in the press. As I said, there are expectations that the school might be selective or elitist in some way, and there are some groups in the community who are not terribly pro the school. However, I think that so far this year we've managed to present a very positive image. I was very pleased with, at the beginning of term, we had newspaper coverage and they actually profiled 3 of our students.
So tell me a little bit about why you like coming to school here.
Well, it's a brand new start and it's just really fun. All the teachers are very great and it's making loads of new friends and it's very interesting not having the older kids here as well.
My attempt to search for press coverage is not just about recruitment, it's actually about informing the community, informing the people of Bristol about what this school stands for and what we're in favour of. I hope it gives a very positive message about state secondary education, and I think that there are some messages out there that secondary state education in Bristol isn't good. I think it is, and I want to show parents and the community that state schools, state comprehensives can be every bit as good as the independent sector.
OK, Liam, so can you tell me why you like coming here to school so much?
Yeah, as Lloyd said, and Yasmin, it's quite a good advantage that we're the only year, and also there aren't actually any teachers that I properly dislike.
That helps, obviously.
It's a genuine celebration for our students to say, hey, you've done some really good work, let's tell everybody about it. And it's for their self-esteem, their pride in where they're attending school.
I think it's a good thing because then people come to know what our school's about and there's going to be a new school.
I think it's exciting coming to a new school that's brand new, not where everyone else has been before.
I want Redland Green School to be a comprehensive school. It's comprehensive and therefore takes full intake of abilities. We do have massively very able students. We also have students who have special needs, and that is part of my vision for Redland Green, an inclusive school.
One of the things that there is a perception about is that Redland Green School is often said to be a posh school for middle-class children and to have a very tight catchment area. But I have been surprised going round to find that actually some children have got in who don't live within that area.
Yeah. This year, I think because it's the first year, there are a fair number of students who have got in who are living outside the catchment area. I don't know what the situation will be in the future. It may well be that in future all students do come within the catchment area. But this is a comprehensive school and we are inclusive.
Unlike Holywell Primary School, Redland Green has no plans to use a dedicated press officer, but its strategy is equally proactive when it comes to handling the media.
Well, I think all schools have got good news stories, and I think giving the media those good news stories on a regular basis and maintaining contact with the media is absolutely vital. I think journalists are very happy to follow stories up if they're given them. They're busy people, and it makes sense for you to actually try and stay one step ahead of them by giving them the good stories, good information they can work with.
So we are going to have overt structures in place in which we can make good use of the media and make sure we're proactive, make sure we're, if you like, informing people of the things that we want to inform them about rather than having to react from external pressures.
Every new school has lots of publicity and we have loads of it and I like it.